important, and those flash stats are something that cannot be underestimated going up against. So here we go. Overpass, the map pick of Infamous Girls up against OSADÍA. And we'll have OSADÍA on the CT side, Infamous Girls on T. And they're going to lead that charge out towards Fountain. And it's a pretty standard 3-2 setup here from OSADÍA, 3 on B, 2 on A. Namita trying to be the one to take those taps first, not connecting those headshots, though, doing a good amount of damage, though. Cam is down to 53 and lower at 70, but Ruha getting caught out, though. That's a problem. Namita trying to save her teammate, trying to keep them alive. Does a little more, but Ruha will eventually fall. Asuka with the opening kill. Namita needs these kills, needs to trade something back, though, and falls on the truck. Bomb can go down here from Infamous Girls. They have time to ward off the push from the flank up Khan. Kato trying to get a window back in, up through, jump up. A teammate is coming through as well. That is Jen. Jen's got one, but Lower's right there for the trade. Going back towards jump upstairs, gets it, but Kath finds one more from Bank. Needs another to make this a profitable round.
Lower's going to get a shot onto Kato, though, and that leaves only OSADÍA to try and clutch things out. She gets one and a second, makes it a 1v1, and doesn't take much damage in the process. Looks for Lower, who peeks out, and now she's been spotted. OSADÍA goes in, tags down Lower to 54. Can she get the killing blow? No! Lower will win the round, and that's a big one for Infamous to start to kick things off. 1-0 in their favor. It got close, right? A little closer than I think it had to be, but credit to, of course, OSADÍA for coming out there and making it a 1v1.
Yeah, definitely good credit there to OSADÍA, but just unable to come up with that final kill. That bomb timer ticking away did force the issue. It was a good job there by Lower to just dance around the issue and buy time, more importantly than anything else. Even if she dies at that point, all that matters is that she wins the round. And that can be done either by the kill or by time. Was the kill in the end, but a good, strong pistol round coming off from Infamous Girls here on their map pick. It's a good start, and even if they would have lost the round, they got the bomb down, they got some kills, they got 4 kills. That's enough for a strong buy into the next. So overall, got to be happy with the win, but they set themselves up for success even without that round on the board. They still did a very good job. They got the round that's just even better than that. They're going to buy up here a couple of rifles, like a little AK, Mac 10 on 2 players. Got a bit of a pause here. They're looking like a technical, and we'll hope that gets resolved pretty quickly here. But for OSADÍA, I think that they got a little rattled, though. They weren't expecting such a fast play-out Fountain. They weren't expecting the party blitz, and without getting those initial kills, they got hung out to dry a little bit, stuck out in the open. And once those kills came through, the site's taken over. Infamous Girls get that bomb down, and that round is theirs to lose at that point.
Yeah, and just a look at the Infamous Girls roster, I did mention that it hasn't been the same throughout the season. And again, it looks like they're returning to the roster they had in match number 1 against OSADÍA, in fact, right? So it's the same roster they had facing them the first time with Camus and Asuka, the ones that are stepping in to fill the 4th and 5th slots. As usual, though, we have Kath, Lower, and Andrea.
It is the roster listed as their starting 5 for Infamous Girls, so that's a good sign. They have their main 5 here, ready to go, ready to roll. For OSADÍA, though, I'm curious whether or not we're going to see them going for a force. I'm curious whether or not we're going to see them go for that classic counter force, you know, that we always see nowadays, the Deagle buy-ups, the scouts. Are we going to see that from OSADÍA, or are they going to play the eco game? Are they going to go for the save? No, they are going to force up here. MP9s on 4. That's a mighty strong SMG. There's not going to be a lot of utility here for them, but they can definitely do some serious damage with those. Namita will go straight for the Deagle as well. So no scouts, but the hand cannon can kind of act as proxy. But it's going to have to be the MP9s to close the gap and to really seal the deal here. Some damage done by Namita early on. Kath down to 68 early, one of those 2 Galils. But it's B where the pressure is really being pushed by Infamous Girls, and where OSADÍA really have the best of their defenses too. Only Namita over towards the A site. 4 SMGs on B. That is a meat grinder.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see where Infamous Girls decide to go, right? But they are posturing towards the B site right now. You see someone heading towards Squeaky, but no, I thought Infamous Girls might poke and prod a little bit more towards that A site, but instead looks like they're going to meet up in connector, toss this utility onto the B site, and walk into these MP9s. One thing they've done by waiting a little bit longer here, has drawn one player from OSADIA towards the A site. Perhaps even a second going to rotate on over. So now you only have two people, at least on the site proper, to reinforce here should the hit come through. And here comes Infamous Girls. They are going to play this right for the time being. Oh, this jump is very bold by Camus, and she'll go down. Kato gets another one as well, so advantage to OSADIA. Andrea does come through and evens out the numbers, but there's Jen with the MP9 to drop another back and forth action. We do sit at a 2v2 now. Asuka's looking for the opening to plant this bomb, but she needs to find another frag first, and she knows it. She's trying to look around and see where OSADIA are, and they're going to pressure. She fakes the plant once more, wants to bait out a peek, now is going to stick it, and OSADIA comes out, spams the smoke, but it's Andrea to get the headshot with the AK. Namita, the last one standing, and her position, I believe, is now known. Both Infamous Girls are staring down towards Graffiti, and Namita's going to jump in towards water. She's going to make her way into the site. Doesn't have a kit, so has to get these kills fast and furious. Flashbang going to get tossed on forward. Namita won't find it. Asuka gets the killing blow. And Infamous Girls do have a lead of 2 rounds now. So, I mean, I say that keeping in mind that they haven't had this opportunity to, build off of a lead very often so far this season.
Yeah, it's a good sign in the early going here for Infamous Girls. It looked quite good. A little bit of a messy round there. Didn't have as much utility as they would have probably liked for a B take when there's 4 SMGs. Granted, they don't know that there's 4 SMGs, but you have to be very wary on a round such as that, an anti-force spy. Now it's going to be pistol rush up. The utility does some good damage, but Counternade is doing more. Andrea mowing down a couple of players, making a 3K with the AK. Goes back for more, grabs the 4th. Burbuja, 1 and 2, actually. Okay, now this is expensive. Infamous Girls, it looked like a great situation, has now turned a little bit pricey. And if Burbuja can save the AK into the next round, that's even better for an OSADIA side, which I don't think they'll have enough for an op into the next. That is the one concern. Everything else, though, saving the AK, getting plenty of utility, will help out massively. While that bomb timer ticks down, nobody on Infamous Girls looks content to go for the hunt. Maybe Lower is going to start probing, but it seems that AK is going to stay in Burbuja's hands into the next. And while it could have been great, it could have been flawless for Infamous Girls, it's a little messy there at the end. We'll see if that comes back to bite them. It very well might. Still, 3 rounds in a row. Good, solid start. And Andrea really getting all 4 of those kills. Very good work from her.
Yeah, good anti-eco coming through from Infamous Girls and Andrea, as you mentioned. But here comes OSADIA with the 3 A1Ss and the AK saved over from that previous round in Burbuja's hands. And Namita has the big green. Namita, the offer here for OSADIA, is going to go for that typical peek towards Fountain, and she will have engagements. Needs to get that op pulled out, and there we go. Peering around the corner. Staring at the Fountain, here's the bullets being fired, but cannot spot the bodies. That said, Kato gets 1 and 2 on Lower and Asuka. That's a quick 5v2 make it. Excuse me, 5v3. It is a 5v2 now, since Namita hit that shot over on Kath. And now Camus and Andrea, with only 30 seconds into this round, are left by their lonesome. Going into playground here. And Camus just peering around and trying to find a bit of open space, but OSADIA really isn't going to give them much. There is a spot down long, right, Austin, for them to try and peer on down, but even if they get to the A site, they're going to be greeted by a couple of players, probably 3, as there are 2 at short A.
Yeah, there's 2 short A, 1 more long, and they won't even get past the Oppa divider. Andrea, the last alive. 4 kills against the Pistols in the last round. This round up against a mountain of players here on OSADIA. The op of Namita will grab 3. A solid performance, a flawless first gun round win from OSADIA. And that is a dominant response here from a team that, well, they came close in the pistol. They came close in the anti-eco. This round, anything but. Domination with that AWP, that AK being saved, got them an op. And boy, did that have impact.
Oh yeah, and Infamous Girls, because those rounds right prior to this were so very close, are going to be on an SMG buy-up instead of going into the AKs. Lower could have gotten an AK, but I guess she wanted to make sure that she'd have enough for an op into the next round. So that's how it stands right now for the Infamous Girls. They're going to toss some utility on forward here towards the B site. 4 players into Monster. And they're just waiting for that smoke to fade. Likely will be charging through. At least Cam is going to peer on in towards construction. Try to spot out something. There is a boost here by OSADÍA, and that's Jen at the top of it. Kato getting blinded a little bit, and she will actually go down to Cat. That's an opening for Infamous Girls. It's expensive, though, in terms of HP, and you see the result now as OSADÍA are just taking care of business. 4 frags come through, and Lower will fall as well to a great peak from Namita, and that will be the round. Second on the board for OSADÍA, and they made it look easy.
They did make it look easy, and now Infamous Girls are in a very weird economic situation. 3 of their players have enough for AKs and armor at the very least. 2, not so much. Now might be a good time for a tactical timeout, but Infamous Girls have their game plan. They got some pistols, some deagles being tossed around here. Very minimal utility. A Tech 9 picked up in the dying embers of the buy time. Namita now could get overwhelmed in Con if they wanted to rush it, but instead they look primed for a fountain pop again. Namita now, smelling the danger, decides to back out as a couple players from Infamous Girls starting to probe through connector. So one thing you don't want to do right now in this round is lose the op to pistols. It's expensive. It gives them a very good opportunity to get some more kills, as no armor doesn't matter as much with the AWP in hand. And so right now for OSADÍA, it's about minimizing casualties and maximizing their effectiveness in this round. Don't play too passive, though. That's the other trap. There's a good casual balance. And right now, Namita seems to be holding that line. Has to be careful of the divider walk, of the lane walk. The entrance to bathrooms is on lock, but she'll now have to back away towards sight, and Burbuja will retreat. Now the pistols can make their move. Now the pistols can find a mark. Flashbang might be a little late. And giving up the snipe, but the bomb is left in spawn. The bomb is so far away.
No.
One kill goes back and forth. There's a couple more here. This is still going to be a very messy round. And somehow, some way, Infamous Girls have it level at 3v3.
Yeah, Jen goes down. That's a good frag from Asuka, and she upgrades to an A1S as a result. But 3v3. Now the bomb does make it to the site, so that's good. They found the gap in the defense there on OSADía's side, and they will have a couple of players in Dumpster. In fact, all 3 players towards Bank and Dumpster. Yeah, they don't really have much of a choice, I suppose, since OSADÍA have already closed the gap, but this is going to be difficult. At least the bomb is planted for them. A smoke in Burbuja's hands could be the difference maker here in the round. OSADÍA going to have to get a move on now, and here they come in towards it. There's the smoke turn. They're going to try and stick this fuse. Kato's behind enemy lines here. She can do so much damage. Will come out here, and it's actually Lower to get 1. Goes for the second, and it's Lower with the 2K. Kato, the last one standing now. She gets 1. Can't she find the second? No, Lower clutches it out with the 3K. Well played. Goes down in the round, but that's a great one for Infamous Girls to find. They hang on after the plant.
They hang on, but that's a round that Infamous Girls are not expecting to win. The bomb plant alone was a victory for them. But John, they come out of it with a very minimal investment. They had 2 Glocks, 2 Deagles, and a Tech 9. Nothing for utility.
Yeah. I was looking at their economy, Austin. I was thinking, well, they could have invested a lot more than they did, but decided to go more passively in that regard. And man, it was the right decision in every way, especially once Lower gets that rifle. It's just, wow, lockdown.
Yeah, and the fact, too, that site was completely abandoned by OSADÍA really goes to favor Infamous Girls, because once the bomb goes down, it's a completely different ballgame. It's a very scrappy fight. There were 5 alive at that point, and with the players retreating along from OSADÍA, it gives that space, that time for Infamous Girls to close the gap. That kill up, jump up was critical. It got the rifle, the first rifle, into the hands of Infamous Girls, and that is the AK that Lower just took to the house, and OSADÍA, they called a timeout in between these rounds. They want to reset here. They do not want to allow Infamous Girls to get any more momentum than they can afford. Camus has the big green. Asuka goes for the dry peek angle in towards Khan. Does some damage, but not nearly enough for a kill. Opening pick goes the way of OSADÍA here. They've been strong against the rifles. They've been stronger against the rifles than anything else right now, but a good swing there from Kath. Even out the numbers, although she does take quite a bit of damage. Into the red at 16 HP. The op from Namita had early success, but has not found anything since. She's playing a very aggressive angle. They're very spread out, Infamous Girls. Heavy probes towards long, heavy probes towards B, heavy probes through Con, and now Kath, the golden opportunity, comes up just shy, but Andrea has the finish. curls that one into the top bins. Now it all rests on the shoulders of Jen to buy some time and get a couple of kills, or else Infamous Girls are grabbing a fifth. It's a good start by Jen. Swings out for the second, takes the player down back Dice. Now Infamous Girls, they have time to go B. Do they want to risk the run?
Two players left standing. Cam is just waiting for this dumpster player to peek out. And it's not going to happen. Just not holding the angle far enough in order to get that pick. But Infamous Girls, obviously with only 24 seconds left, if it's going to be a sight, A will be that hit. Kato waiting patiently in bank. Molotov gets thrown in. That's a good one. That will isolate at least one OSADÍA player. And Kato, in fact, gets ticked down to 56 HP. Camus used the space that she gained to get towards Dice. Box plants the bomb. Oh, but what a shot. OSADÍA comes in on the flank and gets the last two. That's going to be a third on the board for OSADÍA.
That's a good round from OSADÍA. Again, they need to get more of these, though, and they have to be more wary against the pistols, which are probably coming up pretty soon here. Kath with a couple of good kills, but it's Jen that really gives OSADÍA the bridge to cross into victory there. Those 2 kills from sight lock it down for the most part. And then OSADÍA with the kills from behind as well, doing a lot of good work right there. Deagles and Tech 9 now for Infamous Girls, 1 vest on Andrea. The op for Namita going very aggressive here, very aggressive. And it has not rewarded right yet. Somehow not spotting the head. Now there's the option, but she unscopes at the wrong time. Headshot delivered. Needs to get out of dodge, though, here. Very careful. And the Molotov will really force her away. Now has a friend, though, up the lane. Ruha there to make sure the opera can get out of dodge safely. Namita will double scope down towards Party and end the play of Andrea. Legs another onto Asuka, but Ruha's here for the mop-up. And this is looking a lot better here for OSADÍA than it did a couple of rounds ago.
Yeah, you have to be careful if you're Namita. Honestly, that aggression on what is an eco round for Infamous Girls scared me a little bit, but she did pull off the shots to get 2 on the round. And it's going to be only Camus left, and she actually manages to take down Kato, but won't get anything else. Jen is there again to finish off the round, and we are all tied up at 4-4. In fact, 4 of the last 5 rounds going OSADÍA's way, so they've certainly snatched the momentum out of the hands of Infamous Girls.
It's a good momentum stopper there and a great timeout by OSADÍA right after they lost to the Pistols. Good job recognizing you have 4 timeouts. Might as well use one now before things start to get real ugly here in terms of your round score. 1 molly, 2 mollies going out towards T-Con and Party, or Playground, excuse me. And Infamous Girls back on rifles, although Camus has gone for a scout. And Camus had money for an AK. That's a interesting decision here. I'm a little dubious, though, John. I feel like you're probably better getting the AK here, especially considering the overall money that they have right now. Get that AK, get the utility. You don't need the tag 'em and bag 'em.
And they do have the full loss bonus, but I guess if you're thinking forward thinking to the next round, she will have enough for an off, but the economy will be broken for the rest of the team, so I'm not sure. Anyway, look, OSADÍA is going to get a 2K here. Lower and Asuka go down, so Infamous Girls can't really do anything in construction. Now they're going to try and poke and prod towards Canals, and they actually managed to take down Jen. So that's something, but OSADÍA, no, she won't be able to get anything either. Kath is the one to deliver the killing blow, and we're all even here at a 2v2, where Buha finally strikes back for a frag to get an answer, but Infamous Girls have gained the space onto this B site, where Buha desperately spamming through the smoke, trying to find a target, but there's the bomb plant for Infamous Girls. And now Namita, who's been so good with the big green so far, will be called upon here. Buha manages to connect on Camus, take her down to 22 HP. But Camus around the pillar, trying to work it well, and actually evades the fire from Namita. Finally, though, Namita connects. That is through an object there. Camus goes down, and Andrea, the last one standing, swings around for 1, not the second. Namita is going to get the op frag, and that will be that with the defusal. Good clutch there coming through from OSADÍA.
Yeah, great shots there from Namita, especially that first one, the Camus through the box. That was a nice flick down. And then the presence of mind, the calmness to finish off the job and get that defuse for OSADÍA. Their first lead of the game here. Their opponent's map pick of Overpass. Map number 2 is Inferno, with Mirage as a decider if we do go the full distance. Pistols back for Infamous Girls. And they've had a 50-50 success rate on these kinds of rounds. Those numbers aren't too bad. We'll see if it grows or shrinks here. as Burbuja goes aggressive. Not the op of Namita this time, who might not want to lose that too early, might not want to over-aggress here. Played a little more passive towards bathroom doors instead. And Infamous Girls taking their time, working around, trying to feel out where they find a weakness. And it will be back towards A from the looks of things, possibly relying heavily on Asuka to make a move through a connector. And if she does get the pick on the Burbuja, there's a lot of space gain, a weapon. There's the opportunity there, but unless their plan is to pincer right now. Actually, wait. Namita's caught looking the other direction, out towards long bathrooms. Okay, if Burbuja went down, that would have really spelled doom. That's a nice shot, though. And now I think the round is definitely going in the favor of OSADÍA. There was an opportunity. There were windows, but those get slammed right down. The op finds a second, and Namita will not relinquish anything.
Yeah, Namita looking real good today with the AWP. And Infamous Girls only have Camus left on their pistol by up the Deagle. She's managed to sneak on through, but no, not quite. Burbuja comes in on the flank, takes care of business, and that will make it 6-4 in favor of OSADÍA. Now Infamous Girls will be back onto the buy-up, and we're going to see the big green come out. Almost certainly it's going to be 4 AKs and the AWP with full utility. This is a chance for Infamous Girls to get back into this one. They've done a good job towards the B site. Quite a few good takes to at least get the bomb plants down, but haven't been able to close them out over the last little bit. So let's see if they can get that through here. Just assuming they decide to go B, and instead they're going to throw a good flashbang here. Namita also gets naded down to 75, so she's going to have to retreat with the AWP into the short bathrooms. Another good Molotov thrown into connector, and Lower just sideswipes Namita with the AK. That makes it a 5v4 very quickly here. Burbuja's getting overloaded with utility. She has nowhere to go. She's going to toss a nade as well, so her position is known. And Infamous Girls obviously realize that she's trapped here into Cubby. Asuka waits for the smoke to fade, but it's going to be OSADÍA to get the opener here for her squad. Kath is dropped. 4v4. Jen and Burbuja both can have engagements here. Burbuja wins that one. Will Jen win that one in short bathrooms? In fact, it's going to be a little bit longer until that comes through. That said, Burbuja peeks around, gets another one before being dropped by Andrea. Still, that's the advantage here for OSADÍA.
The fact Burbuja gets 2 out of that position, while it being known, is a miracle for OSADÍA, and great work by Burbuja. But Infamous Girls, if they coordinate the push downstairs and the push through con, there's no way Burbuja gets more than one. Jen can't get anything out of bathrooms, gets a lot of damage, but that will not help them out at all. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Doesn't count in these sorts of rounds for sure. Kato, though, can come in and finish the job. OSADÍA is already here as well. Kato moving forward. OSADÍA up towards Optimus. Up over. Doesn't spot the player around the smoke. Might take the spam, though. Here's the bomb plant and gets the kill. Kato from behind. Knife in the back. And 7 now on the board for OSADÍA. They're starting to make their presence known. They're starting to really look stronger and stronger. A very slow start for them, but they continue to build on their successes. Timeout called, presumably by Infamous Girls, and they have money. Will they go for an op is a different question. Camus has liked the scopes, but it is a T side. You don't necessarily need the big green, although Namita has been being very aggressively. It would be a good counter.
Yeah, I mean, you can use it on T side when you go down long A in particular, but Infamous Girls haven't really ventured in that direction too much, right? So I think it would be better if they go for AKs or rifles across the board, and that's exactly what they are going to do here. It's going to be 3 AKs and make that 4 AKs and a Galil. And over on the OSADÍA side, well, you still have a very similar buy-up as that previous round with 4 A1Ss and the AWP. Asuka going to be the last one in here towards Monster, and Infamous Girls might go for a quick hit. Looks like they're looking to set up and charge right forward. Yeah, there they go. Kato's going to get 1, maybe a second. Yes, indeed. Is Kato going to survive for a 3rd through the smoke? It's the headshot on Camus. Andrea does manage to get 1, but it's all going to be up to Asuka here, whose position is known. She also finds 1, but OSADÍA, the last frag, and a little more BM coming through from her. So she's adding a little spice to the server. 8-4, though, in favor of OSADÍA, who now have taken the half here.
It's a good half victory here for OSADÍA. And now if they can get this to 9-6, 10-5, they will be loving life moving to the second half of Overpass. Infamous Girls back on pistols. Camus with the scout looking for the tag. Hoping the teammates can put him in the bag. Kato takes a little bit of utility damage as well. Jen and OSADIA going very aggressive here on this Fountain Playground play. They're not letting the op take these aggressive angles this time. The op is actually out towards B. And nice opening kills coming through from both Kato and Barbuja. Camus and company wondering what's just happened. One of their players, Andrea's turtled up in T-Connector, wondering what to do. And Camus now tagged down low. Should be finished off shortly, will indeed. And a flawless anti-eco from OSADIA, the BM2. You gotta love seeing that, though. That just means there's a lot of flavor to the match and a lot of emotion at it.
Yeah, she's adding the emotional element. There's no question about it. She wants to get under the skin of Infamous Girls, and at this point, winning 9 of the last 10, I'm sure they already are both on the scoreboard and, of course, in terms of the fragging power that they are showing. Alrighty, let's go here. OSADIA looking for a 10th round against Infamous Girls, who do have the full-on buy-up once more. And to be honest with you, Austin, I think Infamous Girls are being a little too conservative with their buy-ups right now. We're seeing a lot of money left in their bank accounts, even though they have the full loss bonus. Especially on T side, you can really make that full loss bonus work quite well for you. Anyway, Kato and OSADIA are going to get the opening frags here on Camus and Asuka. That makes it a quick 5v3 in the favor of OSADIA. Lower, who has had a couple of nice clutches here for Infamous Girls, might be called upon again. Kath is going to get at least one response, but I really like Kato's positioning here. Question is, does Kath push up or realize that this might not be the best of ideas? Namita does get another one, but Andrea trades it back. Now, there's that push I was talking about. Kath goes down, leaving Andrea by her lonesome, and she's now down to 14 HP. Position known, bomb not on her back, and the Molotov will keep her in this position even longer. That lets OSADIA put the pincer attack on. Andrea is trapped. She has to fight her way out of this situation, and she goes for the peek and will get nothing. Kato, the denial, and the 3K on the round to push OSADIA into double digits.
Double digits and a chance for more. The great little con span there, the crossfire between Kato and OSADIA, doing such a great job right there. And for OSADIA, they continue to show great team play. And Infamous Girls, I think they could use their utility a little more. I feel like their utility, when they do use it, doesn't really come to much. And they have a lot of utility on their belts when they're dying. That's the thing. They're being very economically conservative. At the same time, they're dying with a lot of utility left over, which is a bit counterproductive there to that whole mindset. But OSADIA, very aggressive, has a trade from Rabujas. It's a 3-player crunch by OSADIA to the entrance of T-Con. Kato now behind the smoke, waiting for that sewer smoke to fade, and perhaps going for a fight of her own. Has her opper Namita there towards Monster Pillar as well. There's an angle held by Kath, though, wants that kill, and anybody peeking through sewer pipe. It'll just be a waiting game for now, as Infamous Girls starting to probe towards B, expecting the player on the left side now, and the angle shows. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Lower will not be shamed this time. Catches it off. Little jump peek though. Namita spots out one and through the half wall. Finishes the job on lower. Kath and Camus left alive. 2v3 with time, but not a lot of space. That is kind of the name of the game right now. Do they have the space to plant? There's 2 players here, and Namita's on the angle for one. Now has to do it all alone. Shut down. That is great work coming through now. Bomb going down. Jen has to hustle for the 1v2.
Yeah, good Molotov thrown as well by Infamous Girls, but we talked about Jen, highlighted her in the pregame. She's a solid fragger, very consistent for the squad, certainly up to the task. Clutch this one out, gets the perfect peek, and Kath isn't even looking in her direction. Jen makes it a 1v1, spots out the last player, and Jen will indeed have the clutch. The 2v1 goes her way, an 11th round for OSADIA as we head to a break here. All right, here we go. Back into it. OSADIA on an 11-1 run here, Austin. It was a promising start for the Infamous Girls, albeit a little shaky perhaps in terms of getting those round victories, but I was still impressed with what they were able to pull off after that pistol round win. The thing is, OSADIA really brought it on after that, and Namita in particular with the big green looking quite solid and difficult to deal with, certainly for the Infamous Girls. And even OSADIA coming in and doing work. The whole squad has been really impressive to me. I think OSADIA with the BM is contributing that emotional element, and then Jen coming out with that 2v1 clutch to cap off the half. It's been very solid for OSADIA.
Yeah, ice cold from Jen in that clutch. That second shot, you could see the emotion on her face too, and rightly so. That was a nice, clean shot. After the good, strong first technical peak, that was just raw aim and mechanics right there from Jen on the second. So a good display of both. But OSADIA have started out a little bit slow, but once they got their bearings under them, once they got the ball rolling, they just started to dominate. Great crossfires, great coordination on retakes. We talked about, I think it was round 12, where they had that pincer maneuver, one from jump up, one from bathrooms. They peaked at the same time, got both kills basically instantaneously. Great coordination there. And OSADIA now on the T side, you can definitely expect them to have another good opportunity, pushing all five through long, death ball formation. Kills going back and forth, and now Burbuja and OSADIA are going to open up the site. Rotations are already here, but the bomb's going down, back dice, and now they're going to flood away and play the bomb plant, play the post, and wait for Infamous Girls to walk into the trap. The Jaws will seize them, and it should be a 12th of the board for OSADIA, barring any heroics from Lower, and Lower's the one taken out first. Kath and Andrea have to do it all alone.
All right, Infamous Girls trying to clutch out. They have both players on the site, but OSADIA's positioned so well here. Andrea is still alive, last one standing. Her position is now known, and I don't think there's much that she can do out of this one. Maybe another frag, and yeah, but there's no time to defuse. So that will be that. OSADIA, hang on, get a 12th on the board, and Infamous Girls, well, the hill gets even steeper to climb here on Overpass.
Yeah, it's becoming a very tall mountain for Infamous Girls. They had a 4-2 lead at one point, John, but that 4-2 lead has evaporated. It's gone. It hopped on the Overpass train and left a while ago. And this time, they're going to fight this round with USPs and USPs alone. A 13th looking likely for OSADIA. Barring another pistol heroic round from Infamous Girls, this time they will only have the HE to do damage. It's the only thing they bought. And armor on Andrea, actually, which I'm curious. Maybe that was a misbuy there, because I feel like if you're going to get the armor, you want to get a pistol with it, at the very least. Something like a 5.7 or a Deagle.
Yeah, and there is money there for both of them. So, interesting. Perhaps you're right. Misbuy coming through there. OSADIA and Burbuja will take care of business here, and you would obviously expect OSADIA to come out pretty cleanly here, only up against USPs. And you do see Infamous Girls rotating onto the A site, given all the utility that's been tossed on forward there by OSADIA. And it's the right play. I'm not sure if it's going to make much of a difference, though, as Jen gets one, Burbuja another, and the last one goes to Namita. That'll do it. 13th round on the board here for OSADIA. And here comes Infamous Girls with the full buy. It'll be A1S's likely across the board, maybe a FAMAS here and there to ensure more utility can come through. And in fact, Lower going for the MP9 in order to get the full utility and the kit. Don't mind that at all, but it will impact the firepower here on the Infamous Girls defensive end.
I'd almost rather see the MP9 instead of the FAMAS, although Overpass does have some more long-range angles. The MP9, though, almost better than the FAMAS in every regard. And Azuka getting tagged down early. The scout of Namita, not the op, but still doing some serious damage in the early going. That'll make things a little more difficult in the onset for Infamous Girls to come back from. I like the boost of the M4, though. Gives them some good controlled sewers, gives them a lot of information, more importantly. And it lets the CT side be a lot more comfortable that, hey, sewers is clear at the very least, and Condor hasn't been opened yet, so one less angle to worry about. But they've fallen off the boost. They've gone a little aggressive through tunnels. A flash from a teammate, but Jen still has the noggin. Rings the bell of Lower. And that's going to lower the player count, and the jump peak is punished. Namita finishes the job she started, tosses that molly forward. And OSADIA now scaling on towards the A side, slowly but surely. Honestly, could wait for the teammates to group up and really solidify this hit. If they go now, they will run a bit of a risk here, and actually I think they're going to audible it down towards B, which is no bad idea at all. They have that control too towards the B site. They have sewers control. They're running in the utility. There's only one player here from Infamous Girls. One lurk towards A. I love this call.
Yeah, Andrea could do some damage though, and there's one flicks around to try and find the second. Doesn't get it, but at least Camus manages to take down Kato to keep OSADIA honest. Well, I'm going to get planted here. Rabua just hanging on to life, but Namita hits a wicked scout headshot onto Kath, and she has just been feeling it here on Overpass. OSADIA in the meantime hit 20 frags, top of the scoreboard for her squad. Camus, well, last one standing. I mean, there's not much forward here. A save might not be a bad idea, as it won't be possible to defuse the bomb anymore. Yeah, she's just going to back off. There's really no reason to go for this one at all. She continues to peek. I think she wants to try and keep them on the bomb site, and that does get Namita down to 1 HP. The thing is, it's kind of a bonus round right now for OSADIA, so even if Namita goes down, it doesn't really matter. And she will, along with Burbuja, so they have to reinvest, but they have plenty of money, Austin, to do so.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a round where OSADIA can still buy. It's going to be a little more costly because, yeah, they did lose a couple of players. They lost 4 to be exact in that round, and they will have to reinvest on those 4 players, but still have money enough for full buys on 4 out of 5 players into the next, even if they lose this one. And Infamous Girls won't have that kind of buy to really challenge a couple of P250s to Galil, and that is it. Andrea getting the armor and the P250. Can have an opportunity to get a bit of damage done. Camus with the save Galil. It's going to have to be the hero player. The hero rifle, it is for sure. But Andrea, almost want to see a rifle into her hands right now, sitting head and shoulders above her teammates, 18 and 16 in terms of KD. A rifle could turn the tide here, get another round on the board. And Jen has to be careful not to get overwhelmed. This push through sewers conjoined with the push through monster could pay some dividends. Good first from Jen. Sprays down the second, expects the third, flicks away, and gets punished. That's Andrea now, an AK in her hands. Cam is holding the lane run. This is still not clear, and the bomb goes first, but a great shot from OSADIA will kill the one main threat they had left on A. Bomb will go down. Now all OSADIA have to do is hold out in the 4v2 post plant, secure 15.
Oh boy. Cat just trying to get away, and OSADIA through the wall connects with the headshot. It's all up to Andrea here, who, as you mentioned, 19 and 16. She has been one of the bright spots throughout this season for Infamous Girls, and this is regardless of the fact that they're down by what will be 11 rounds here, still a great performance from her, and more, and something to even build off of going out of this one, perhaps into the next map. But she is going to save the AK here. Maybe going to toss a Molotov in the ladder, but that would give away her position, so I'm not sure if that's a good idea. So yeah, she decides better of it. And now we'll throw it, given that the bomb just exploded in the round. Timer will expire, and she saves it on forward. That said, 15-4 in favor of OSADIA. They have 11 opportunities to close out map number 1 and send us to the second one.
There is the op for Camus. It'll have to be a huge point of impact right now for Infamous Girls, as they have 11 rounds to close a gap. And it's going to be a very wide chasm to cross if they're able to do it. B heavy presence here from OSADIA, though that Molotov will hold off the push for now, but there might be a gap, actually. I think there is a gap on the left side. But OSADIA were expecting a push from short, a flashbang potentially in towards water to give them that push in the first place. It will not come, but they're consolidating their efforts towards the B side. Camus is here as well with the big green gun. Needs to find an opening, though, and now the utility's going to be thrown on through. They've retreated back for that. Counter nades being chucked back and forth, and OSADIA thinking better of this take, perhaps rotating back towards the A side, at the very least pumping the brakes for now, and stalling this one out, trying to throw Infamous Girls into chaos. A miss shot from Camus will open things up for Buha with that kill. And now the hit's going to come on in earnest. They're going to charge on through. A smoke might actually stall this out again. And we've seen a lot of takes towards this B site without any actual bite here. A lot of barking. And there's still plenty of time to even make that rotate up to A. They're going to go for it finally. Third time's the charm. And the entry is there. Lower has to find something besides a headshot. A shot to the face. Not going to help. And now the end company knocking off heads and taking the round. Asuka 1v4 to stay alive in map number 1. Has 1 kill. and I don't think she's gonna be able to manage too much more. Spotted out, sprays away, the Zeus was there. Headshot is traded. Jen with the finisher, and OSADÍA 16-4 on Overpass.
Yeah, the Zeus was a little optimistic there, I gotta say. Maybe it was just trying to anticipate a drop down from heaven, which didn't come through. Either way, it is going to be, as you mentioned, OSADÍA taking control of this